Oh, Joseph, you are still standing today. So we're gonna give you just a little bit of praise. A little bit of praise just for you. Well, you went and you survived, you know what? You know we gotta give you praise. Sing that name. Sing that name. Oh, Joseph, we praise you. And when we do, we'll make it rain. Oh, can I get an amen? Oh, you did it. You survived and you're still alive. Well, for all you do, we praise you.
Hey, listen up, y'all. I'm gonna shout out this young gun right here because he's trying to do his thing. Joseph Jaffe, not famous. And probably rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm famous because, he not famous. And he like, yo, let me call my famous friends and see if they'll shout me out and make me more famous, sir. Right? But so, Joseph Jaffe, man, it's cool. You got your late night talk show popping off. That's what's dope. Streaming, been doing your thing, man. Started this in March of the 2020, which is, tough throughout the years, but booking great guests, man. Jamal Mashboard, James Rollins, steady building it, man. Keep it popping off, man. Keep building your brand, man. Believe in yourself. Keep going hard, all right? That's what it's all about. One of these days, this little acronym of yours, not famous, is not going to be true. People going to see you in the mall and be like, I know who you is. Them going to be your cousins saying it all incorrect like that. But you know what I'm saying? You know what you going to do. What you going to do? They family. All right, bro. I'll holler.
A spring in your step. There is a twinkle in your eye.
I can throw a rhyme down for you real quick. Yes, they call me Thrill. They say that I'm the man. You disagree, how could you? Let me make you understand.
Should we bring her on the show? Can anybody find me? And there she is.
Fresh as some bread. Put right from the oven. When you feel rejected, get some my loving.
Take on me.
She looks wonderful. Mom looks amazing.
Somebody too. Okay, more bugger off now. I've got to show it to you.
You like that?
Joseph Jaffe, ladies and gentlemen.
You just made the new intro of the show. It would help if I was actually on screen, right? I was just watching the whole introduction, enjoying it so much, being so happy about the fact that I survived. You know what? Well, it's maybe not what you would think. For me, it was open heart surgery, but now it's time to get on with the show. There we go. I was like literally enjoying my 3-minute introduction while you guys were settling in and enjoying yourself. And I forgot to even put myself on screen, but I am on screen now. And soon, Gene Campbell III might not survive this episode. He's a professional basketball player. He's an influencer. He's an entrepreneur. He's a scholar. He's a philosopher. Is there anything this man cannot do? He's also an aspiring drummer. He's a philanthropist. I could keep going, but there's only 56 minutes, but more on him soon enough. Just want to say hello to some of our regulars. Emmanuel is here. Russell Eubanks is here. I said, hey, everyone. Mark Mansfeld is here. Hoe gaat het, my friend? And Brian Piper is back from a week of vacation. Glad to be back, and lots of episodes to catch up on. And let me tell you, seriously, they're all phenomenal. Not because of me, because I'm not famous, but because of them, because of the perspectives. I've gone back and I've looked at the show notes, and I am, I'm just humbled. I'm humbled to have had the opportunity to meet so many different people with different perspectives, and continue this journey together. Now, speaking of different people with different perspectives, I decided to make Eugene the king. He's wearing a crown, so it's as close. I mean, I'm never going to wear a crown, so it's as close as we'll get to royalty. Mitch Jackson, who's almost royalty, is on the show tomorrow. And Carol Baskin, she's kind of wearing a crown, will be on the show on Thursday. And then, as you know, it's NFT Fridays. And this Friday, Matthew Sposter will be here representing Chibi Nation, the Chibi Galaxy, Chibi Labs, and finding out what they're up to. And as I've said a couple times, they've just signed an amazing partnership. We'll find out more about it, I hope, with Verizon. So I want to welcome Javon Greenwood, who said he is amazing. Clearly not referring to Matt Sposter or referring to Mitch Jackson or even me, but no doubt our guest. And I've had the pleasure of getting to know him a little bit. We did an Instagram live earlier today, and I'm vouching for the fact that he is amazing. Now, I'll tell you what else is amazing. For those of you that are new to the show, I have my own coin, my own cryptocurrency called the Jaffe coin. At the moment, it's hovering around the 8 somethings, the 850s, the 860s as well. And rather than me even, well, you know, I might even tell you, I might ask you, not tell you, not ask you, but request perhaps that should you choose to buy some of the Jaffe coin, I give away a Jaffe coin every single episode. And in this episode, I'm giving away 0.11 of a Jaffe coin to 11 people. 11 people are going to get 0.11, but you need to hold 11 Jaffe coin in order to qualify. Remember, you hold the coin and now you get more coin. You don't give the coin to me. I'm not asking you to. I'm asking you to hold that coin and see what happens to the value as this economy expands. But why the number 11? Why 0.11? Why 11 of them? Well, I have a feeling Gene will know a thing or two about the number 11 because it's the number that he wore when he was, I guess, in college. And so I decided to theme all of this with the number 11. Now, in addition to that, I've been giving away NFTs once a week. For those of you that are wondering about the draws, I've been so busy, but I will try and do the draw at the latest on Friday. All I ask that you do, or all that you need to do, is subscribe to this show's channel on YouTube. Just go to bit.ly/subscribe to the show. Join our Discord, and that is bit.ly/not famous Discord, and swing by the after show. We have an after show now every day. I will make sure you have that. In fact, I will put it into the comments right now so that you have that Discord address, and then you can come out and maybe hang out with Gene. He's definitely going to try and join us afterwards. But I will be there, and it's an opportunity just to reflect on the show. Like, it is the after show. What did you like about the show? What resonated with you? What key quotes or takeaways for you are shareable? And I'll share what I believe mine are as well. Mark adds 11 of the 11th at 11:11 is famous in the Netherlands for its carnival kickoff every year. So there you see the numbers. Numbers are important. Numbers matter. And in this particular case, that number seems to be pretty significant. And finally, before we move on, just remember that QR code is live only when the show is live. It is one of my favorite aspects of being able to recognize and reward community live viewers. So if you're watching it in a week's time, a year's time, 10 years' time, you'll still get the benefit of the conversation, but you're not going to get Jaffe coin. And I think that's a pretty cool innovation, if I do say so myself. As a final reminder, we are on the Marketing Podcast Network. So if you prefer to listen to the show in audio, for example, we know that Brian was on vacation. He just got back. So if he chose to, he could have listened to the show on or via podcast. But why would anybody subject themselves to that kind of torture? So I hope you had a Jaffe-free vacation, Brian. But now I'm glad you're back. Well, what is also back is the seated soliloquy. And I decided to call this one, very much, no doubt, connected to my guest. It's called a dif-fer-ent path. And here goes. You know, when we think about life, we hear that quote, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled. But I don't think that that is about life. I don't think it's about being able to choose between left and right, between going on the beaten track or off the beaten track. Sometimes we're not even aware that there is a fork in the road. Sometimes we don't even know if we've gone off path. Sometimes the road to success is a squiggly path. Sometimes it is an unpredictable path. And sometimes by taking the different path, it ultimately forms us, it shapes us, it makes us who we are. Quite frankly, had we taken the obvious path, had we taken the safe path, had we taken the predictable path, we might have generated or reached a certain level of success, but by whose standards? What defines success? There are traditional ways, certainly, that we can think about success, but sometimes, and I remember this quote so well from when I was a kid, when I was at school. I was once asked the question, would you rather be tail of the lion or head of the fox? And I've thought about it in life. I mean, obviously, most people respond by going, I'd rather be head of the lion. Sure, everyone would, or maybe they wouldn't, because be careful what you wish for. But I've gone through my life preferring, personally, to be head of the fox than tail of the lion. Because leadership is leadership. And it doesn't matter whether you're in the premiership, whether you're in the championship, whether you're in representing a non-league team, to use a football or a soccer analogy. Leadership is leadership. When I'm coaching my son's soccer team and I'm on the sidelines, I may as well be Ted Lasso, because in that moment, I am the leader. And the universe is completely self-contained in and on and around that soccer field. So whatever you do in life, take a different path. Take your path. Because it may not actually be different for you. It may be unique for you. It may be your path. And ultimately, that road will lead not only to your salvation, but certainly in the case of my guest today, other people's as well. Because when we take a different path, all our options are changed. All new possibilities open up. Possibilities to inspire, possibilities to change the game, possibilities to change the world. And now, someone who is changing the world, it's time for our very special guest, Gene Campbell III. Russell says, super duper, thanks so much for the Jaffe coin. You know, I thought maybe he was saying, I appreciate it and was inspired by your soliloquy, but I will take what I can get. Emmanuel adds, we have a saying, first of the village or last in the city. Yeah, it's the same idea, no doubt. Love to hear your comments. Please keep them coming. Let me tell you a little bit about Gene Campbell, and as always, playing around with my unique sound system, we are going to give him, I think, the rock star treatment. There you go. Gene Campbell III is a professional basketball player hailing from Jersey City, New Jersey. At 25 years old, this athlete has shown his prowess on the hard court as he continues to prove his worth today, playing his way up to higher leagues and reaching heights he has never been to before, probably quite literally. He used to play baseball before getting into basketball, but problems with his academics forced him to leave the sport. This was an unfortunate event that turned out pretty good, as it led the young athlete to the game he was destined to play, basketball. Eugene talks about the turning point that made him fall in love with basketball. Let's find out all about it, and let's bring him onto the show. And as I say that, I see that he disappeared from me. So we're going to wait for him to come back. Never a dull moment as well. And it's part of his story as well. Eugene, I'm bringing you back. Eugene, it's part of the story as well, right? I mean, there you are. You're in Europe, and you're doing this on your phone, and we are, and he's gone again, and we are ultimately slaves to our Wi-Fi collection as well. Emmanuel adds, he says, probably same meaning as lion and fox with respect to village and city, no doubt. And Emmanuel does say you get 11 out of 10 for the show. So thank you very much. I do want to mention as well to all the regulars that our last show will be February 18th for a short period of time as I take a little bit of a break, a vacation break. And I'm going to be giving away a fair amount of, well, not fair amount. I think it's going to be 2 Jaffe coin for holding 20. So if you don't have the coin yet, you have an opportunity over the next 10 days. In fact, most of you I know probably hold it already, but by holding 20 coin, you will get 2 coin as well. And you know what? We might just keep increasing it. At some point, 50 coin, 5 Jaffe coin, 100 coin, 10 Jaffe coin, 1,000 Jaffe coin, 100 Jaffe coin. As you keep buying, I keep giving as well. And we're going to wait. I can see Gene is coming in and out. If you are here to watch him, stay patient. I see all of you as well. Javon says, sending love and support from New Jersey. Yeah, so hopefully New Jersey will be back in the house soon enough. Let's see if we can get him back. He is in the green room as we speak. Maybe we need a new soundtrack. Let me give a little bit of, and we lost him again. My brother is here. Hello, Ellen. How are you today? So I tell you what we will do as we wait for Gene to come back is let's hear some of your questions. Let's hear some of your comments. Let's hear some of your thoughts with respect to the soliloquy that you heard. This idea of sometimes going down a different track. Maybe it's not the beaten or the road traveled. Maybe we don't even know. Maybe we can't even identify the track or the path at the same time. So I want you to think about that, but maybe don't think about it too long because I think he's back. Gene, welcome.
I'm good now. So it was having technical difficulties and the sound wasn't working. And I'm sorry about that. I apologize to everyone. But I'm good now.
You know what? I was just, let's give you a proper, not famous, there we go. The studio audience, they were starting to heckle. They were throwing tomatoes. They were threatening to riot. But you know what? We've tasered them. We've restrained them. See, look how grateful they are now. They will clap on demand. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm glad we got it sorted out. Welcome to the show. You are in Portugal right now. So would I say boa noite or boa tarde?
Boa tarde.
Yeah, look at you. And of course, the rest of the words I know are all swear words. But we will not go into that as well. It is World Opera Day. We did find out that you are an amateur drummer, but you have chosen not to sing opera for us. Is that correct?
No, not today. Yeah, not today.
And not today, and maybe not ever. All right.
That's true.
But one thing that you're not going to be able to weasel your way out of are what we call fun facts. And here's what we found about you. The first thing is, and I hope this doesn't freak you out too much, but you are apparently terrified of hornets and wasps. So is this terrifying you right now?
A little bit, just because
All
it's
right,
staring at me right now.
let me make it a little bit better for you. There we go.
Yeah.
Is that a safer version?
Yeah, much safer.
All right. So how did this fear of hornets and wasps come about?
I don't know. One day I got stung, and when I was a little kid at summer camp, and it just scarred me after that. It hurt. I got stung in the back of my neck, and it was very painful. And it was like a traumatic experience. It just happened out of nowhere.
And
And
then
every
you
time
just
they
couldn't
fly
go
around,
back.
I just start moving my head and I get away from them.
Have you ever taken out a wasp or hornet's nest before? Where like hit it with a broom and then just run a mile, or will you not even
Nah,
go there?
I'm not gonna take that chance.
All right, so we will not make you sing, and we will not inject any hornets or wasps. But something else about you uh, was, is amazing, and it was the fact that, as I said, we have a very low budget here in the studio, but we found out that you were the shortest boy in your class in high school in your freshman year.
Yeah.
And look how cute you look, by the way. And uh, and so and now how tall are you now today?
I'm 6'2" right now, but at the time I was about 5'1".
So to me, this is very personal. My I have a 14-year-old son, and he is going through a period now where thankfully he's starting to grow. But he was the shortest kid in his grade by a mile. He's also, by the way, a freshman in high
Mm-hmm.
school, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just amazing. It's amazing to see someone in a similar position who, by the way, plays basketball today and is a star. Tell us about being 5'1". As a male, as a freshman, did you play basketball? How hard was it socially? I would love to hear about your memories there, and then kind of take us into what happened and the growth spurt.
So freshman year was a little rough. Um, I was 5'1". I had braces. I looked like a little kid. I looked like I was in fourth grade, and I definitely did have a facial hair like this
No,
picture.
I don't think so.
And it was rough, socializing, especially trying to talk to girls, because all the girls were taller than me, and basketball was very rough because I was very short. I actually got cut from my basketball team my freshman year. I didn't make the team. Yeah, so that was an experience that I needed though, because it gave me a chip on my shoulder that motivated me to go into the next year determined and ready to make the team, which I did. So it was a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I thought it was the end of the world at the time. Oh, I'm never gonna grow. My dad is tall, my mom is kind of tall, and I'm just short. Like, what do I do? So
So,
it was
so
cool.
you refer to it as an experience you needed, and you refer to a chip on your shoulder. Do you think it's good in general to have a chip on your shoulder, to feel this drive in terms of I'll show them, I'll prove them wrong, pushing off against, it's a different kind of adversity, because there can be adversity of, and from with things, and then there can be
Hmm.
one that is very much people related, as in the coach, the coach that cut me, I'm going to prove them wrong. How important is it to have a chip on your shoulder?
I feel like it's very important. The chip on my shoulder carried over to the professional level as well. I feel like I'm not even proving myself to a coach. I feel like I'm proving to myself. I have this thing where it's me versus me. So I'm always trying to be the better version of me every day. So the chip on my shoulder correlates to myself and to others. I feel like we should never be complacent. We should always try to be better, and we should always try to prove ourselves that we can do better. Because if we get comfortable, we're never going to grow. So I feel like a chip on your shoulder, especially in the sports world, is very important for growth, because it's definitely needed. It's definitely needed to keep you on your toes and keep you from getting comfortable.
Yeah, and so now you bring in something else that is just such a powerful part of this conversation, which is this idea of complacency and comfort. In the business world, they talk about the boiling frog syndrome. Where you're just enjoying, the frog is enjoying the hot tub, the warm waters, until eventually it's served as frog's legs, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
realize what has happened. How does one know in the sporting world that one is in that complacency zone, in danger of becoming too comfortable?
I feel like getting comfortable with the environment. You meet nice people, you meet friends, you meet, a relationship, and you just get comfortable with what you have going on because it's making you happy. It's okay to be happy, but you also have to realize that in the sports world, especially at the professional level, it's a job. And if you're not keeping up with your job and how you're supposed to perform, you're not going to be able to keep your job. And nobody wants that wake up call to just be getting the call from your coach or from the GM and saying, we're sending you home or we're cutting you from the team. That's a big wake up call. That's a big shock. I feel like we should always feel in the back of our heads like, all right, I have to perform in order to keep my spot on the team. I feel like we shouldn't be comfortable like, I could score 5 points and I'll still be good. We shouldn't be so comfortable with where we're at. I feel like I don't want people to feel like you have to have the anxiety of, I have to score 30 points every game. That's not the case, but you have to go out there and play every game like it's your first game ever. When you play your first game ever or it's your first day at work, that's probably your best day at work. You're the most focused. You're not comfortable. You're motivated to do the work that needs to be done because it's your first day of school. You want to do all the homework. You're just motivated. That first day of the year, you want to go to the gym. You want to set New Year's resolutions. You want to set goals because you're excited for the new start. You should always go into any situation like you start. You shouldn't get comfortable. Once you get comfortable, you start getting distracted and you don't perform as well as you normally could.
There's so much truth in that. And, again, in the business world, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, in his very first letter to shareholders, he said, this is day one. He said, this is day one for Amazon. And from that moment on, every day is day one. In fact, their headquarters in Seattle is called Day One. The building is called Day One. So it's that ability to say, cool. Yeah, isn't it cool? So like this idea is like the minute it's day two, you're already on the decline. Because, so it's like, how do you find that moment, that taste? And sometimes it's failure that motivates, and sometimes it's success. Sometimes it's the, my first boss once said he was motivated more by the fear of failure than the sweet taste of success. And I love that idea. It's not a negative thing. It just says it's like this ability to just, not fail is more of a motivation, because what is success? You're rich, someone's richer. You score a point, someone will score two. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, I'm looking at the comments. Johnny Aguilar says, let's get it, bro. Keep doing your thing. And I don't know if
that's one of my brothers, man. Yeah. They support me. I'm a part of a fraternity called Psi Sigma Phi Multicultural Fraternity Incorporated, and I invited my brothers to join.
Well, that's awesome. And then Javon Greenwood said, this is when you were coming in and out, said sending love and support from New Jersey. So I'm a little closer to New Jersey. I'm in Connecticut right now. And I'm sure you no doubt get a little bit homesick. But now let's move to the fact that when did you start to grow?
I started growing each year in high school. I was 5'1" my freshman year.
You're back.
Hello?
You're back. Can you hear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
I don't understand what's wrong with this connection.
We can hear you, by the way.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'll put it into. So we'll wait for him to come back and just keep the comments coming in. And as I said, we'll this is the power also of having a streaming show, which is I can start anytime I want and I can go as long as I need to. So we'll just see. You back?
I don't know what happened. Yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe
So
we should work out, Gene. Is it better on the left side or the right side? Because it's like, do you think it's which one do you prefer now that we have an opportunity to reset the room? I'm just
the
kidding.
right side. Right side. Yeah.
Oh, you like that one? All right.
Yeah.
So you
Okay,
were
so-
talking about growing a little bit every year.
Yeah. So freshman year I was 5'1". Sophomore year I was about 5'3", 5'4". Junior year about 5'6", and then senior year about 5'8", 5'9". So I didn't finish growing till maybe sophomore or junior year of college. I kept growing throughout college
Wow.
as well, which was strange, but I just kept growing.
And still by basketball standards, even to this day, you're not the tallest. But
No.
we'll get back to what your superpower is in a moment. But there was something else in your life, that it was alluded to in your bio, an academic moment or incident that changed the course of your life. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So the academic excellence was the fact that one of my teachers said that I was failing my English class and I wasn't. So as a result, my parents had took me off of the baseball team. Baseball was a sport that I was strongly interested in before I was interested in basketball. As a matter of fact, like before I took basketball seriously, I wanted to play baseball. So when I had an incident, I was taken off the baseball team and I just completely lost interest in the sport once I was taken from the sport. And then I started gravitating more towards basketball. But to find out at the end of the semester, I was never failing the English class. The teacher just made it up. I don't know. I guess she didn't want me to play any sports. So I was never failing the class. I had a B in the class. So it was strange.
Are you it's not even in a weird sort of way, but are you grateful? Are you grateful to this teacher even though they sabotaged you in your life at the time? Is there maybe not a gratitude expressed to them face to face, but is there a kind of a weird source of gratitude now because of the direction in life that it took you?
Yeah, I don't have any regrets, and I feel like it was meant to be that way. I feel like I was supposed to get taken off the team so I can do the sport that I was destined to play. Basketball just came naturally to me, and it's something that I picked up on fast. Even though I picked up baseball pretty fast too, but I feel like basketball was a part of my culture, was a part of my family. I don't have any family members that play baseball. My sister was a basketball player. My father was a basketball player. So it was something in the family and something that I had strong interest in. I followed the sport more than I followed baseball. So it was destiny, in my opinion.
All right. So now you're playing basketball, and I'm assuming every kid dreams of #1 draft pick and being a star, being the next Michael Jordan, and now LeBron or whatever the case, or maybe even Chris Paul. What happens to you in terms did you have that dream? And second of all, what took you to Europe versus the NBA?
Okay, so back where you were saying about my height is 6'2". That's about maybe the average size for a point guard in Europe and under average size in the NBA. At the end of the day, I knew that I was progressing and I was getting better, but playing professional basketball is not only about the NBA. I looked into other options before, considering my decision. And I saw that you could still make a good salary off of playing professional basketball overseas, and I love traveling. So it was a win and a win for me. And once the opportunity presented itself, I took advantage of it. The NBA is a very unique league. It's the most popular, league in the world, and there's a lot of pressure playing in the NBA. Not saying that I wouldn't be prepared for that type of pressure because there's pressure playing overseas as well, but I feel like this situation is better for me because of the politics and the media. I feel like over here I can, play basketball the way I want to without being on the news every day about anything going on and cameras in my face just going to the grocery store. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I do on the show. I don't know why. I just, as an author myself, is I always love coming up with a book title for my guests' first book or next book. So I've decided that your autobiography or biography is going to be called "Be Careful What You Wish For," and it's a different play on it, right? Because it's the opposite of regret. It's the fact that everyone would have chosen or elevated or showcased the NBA as an example. But be careful what you wish for, because with celebrity comes pressure. With you no doubt, and I'm sure you walk down the street or wherever you are, you're less likely, to be mobbed, and you're more likely to be able to have a private life, or at least just to
Private
keep it
life,
real,
yeah.
just to be a human being, as opposed to now compromised because you have to live up to an expectation and an image.
Yeah, but it's also like that here as well in so many ways because there's a lot of kids that, look up to me because I'm an American playing in Europe. So they look at me like the LeBron James. They look at me like the big figure because, they don't have that down here. So, but it's not really compared to the NBA. It's not in the media. You can't even go to the movies without people trying to take pictures of you. I can at least walk down the street. I might see a couple kids that say hello to me, might ask me for some pictures. That's it, but nothing crazy.
Well, we have a couple of little surprises. The first one is there was a reason why I mentioned Chris Paul, and a bunch of reasons. But this is the quote that I found for you. And it actually, normally I say, hey, do you know who said that? But it actually says Chris Paul, author. So if he's writing books, then no doubt your book is not far behind. He said, I've been fortunate to be short my entire life. There's only one position I've ever had to play, and that's point guard. So I've always had to be that leader, and that was my job, to talk, which I found interesting. Do you talk a lot when you're on the court?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when I'm playing in the state. It's hard to do it because there's maybe one or two people on my team that speak English, so they just hear me yelling out random stuff, I guess, in their opinion, because they don't understand what I'm saying all the
time. I love that. So you could basically say anything, right? You could say anything, and they'd think it was like motivational, etc. So maybe you should try that. Maybe you should try a couple of, like eggs Benedict. Or just a couple of random phrases. But now, let's talk about, you were in Armenia, now you're in Portugal. Have you been to any other countries in terms of settling in?
I've been to Moldova. I went to Moldova in January of 2021.
And where have you actually and where have you been based? Have you actually been based in those countries, or have you been based always in
no,
Portugal?
I'm based in the United States. I'm based in New Jersey.
And so how does it work in terms of playing in Europe? How long is the season?
The season is usually about give or take 3 to 8 months, depending on performance, depending on if you get a better deal through the midst of the season, you have the option to leave at a certain deadline, or you can stay for the rest of the season. If you start the season, typically it's about 6 months. 6 or 7 months.
How does it feel just in terms of, being so far away from home? Obviously, you have your brothers, you have, obviously the power of WhatsApp and Instagram, and you have a great social media presence. But how's it actually been foreign country, foreign land, foreign language in terms of establishing yourself and creating a network and having that grounding or that foundation?
I like the experience. The Portugal situation is great for me because I get to coach the kids, I get to mentor them. They like when I come to their practices and show them different ways to play basketball from America, because they never had an American over here on this team. So I'm the first American, and in Portugal they have more ball control than most Americans, but in America we have more moves and more, flashy passes and different ways that we play basketball, compared to people in Portugal. So just teaching them different styles so they can add it to what they already have. So it's been cool networking with the coaches and the kids, because my club has a under 16, under 18, or under 21 for the boys. They have the girls under 16. So I got some kids that look up to me, and I got a supportive team, coaching staff. So the networking has been very good. So I can't complain at all. Blessed.
So I want to make sure that we can talk about some of your amazing initiatives, but just in the comments, I think it's maybe even less about you missing home, and it's the fact that home is missing you. Ashley Matthews says, miss you, and Javon Greenwood says, we miss him lots. So it works both ways. I've never actually thought about it that way. We always talk about from the star or from the executive's perspective, but it's all the people that are in a way left behind, or the people that are behind, that feel the same, feel that same connection as well. So hopefully they're getting this little glimpse into you and your life on this week's show. I was able to buy the rights for this never seen before footage of you on the court. AKA I went to a YouTube channel. So here's a little clip of you in action. And I know that you're building your YouTube channel now. And you're going to start to share more of yourself, your highlights, your clips, interviews, etc. So here's a little bit of Gene Campbell. Can I just say that their crowd is much better than my crowd? I'm just, I'm not even going to compete. What's the playing environment like? Where it's a different environment. It's not the pressure cooker. It's not the overproduced American, spectacular or experience. I would imagine maybe there's a little bit of peace that comes from just being able to get on with the game, and just play your natural game.
Yeah, it's very peaceful, but the fans are pretty crazy. They yell out a lot of stuff that I don't understand, and I'm glad I don't understand it. So it doesn't really distract me.
A little bit of like,
as you can hear,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. As you can hear, like, when I scored, my bench went crazy, and you can hear the crowd in the background yelling. So that was a home game. The away games are a little bit different. They're not really clapping when we score. but the bench is very loud, and the team is very, very together. So we're like one unit with everything. So there's no teammates that are distant, that don't really like the other teammate. We're all like a family. So that's the good thing about being a part of this club.
Johnny says, okay, bro, I see you. Nice shots. 4-point play, Curry. So, he better sleep with one eye open. That's all I'm saying. And Glenn is here, and he said, have you had a chance to play in Montenegro?
No, I haven't. But one of the clubs in their second league actually offered me to play the next season. So it might be something that I consider.
I mean, these are the most these are some of the most beautiful, beautiful places in the world. So you are seeing the world, you are establishing your mark, and we will get back to a couple of ways that you are not content in terms of what you do on the court, but what you're doing off the court is as if not more impressive. But before we do that, it is Tuesday today, and Brian Fanzo is our correspondent talking about matters on a Tuesday. It's a little bit of a potpourri, but he generally will talk about justice. He will talk about we versus is greater than me. He'll talk about diversity, equity, inclusion. I never watch what he's going to say in advance. So Gene, you and I will watch together, and then we'll comment on it, and then we'll talk about some of the cool initiatives that you're up to.
What's up, friends? Brian Fanzo, iSocial Fans here. And, in this world where we're kind of reimagining the future, and I believe deep down we all understand the importance of not being stuck in the ways of our past, and the importance of learning the lessons and the value of inclusion, and not only diversity and inclusion, but also changing the behaviors and the culture that we've had over the years. And part of that is that we are starting now to have more discussions about topics and things that really, for most of our lives, for many of us, were topics that people told us not to talk about. Or, we can discuss everything except politics, sex, and religion. And as we look at this, melting pot of society, I think it's important for us to recognize that with this change that we have, we also have to change, our perspective. Yep. Change the way that we look at things, change the way that we approach things. And it's not about, empowering cancel culture, because I actually do believe we must embrace the second chance and understand that people will change. And if they're willing to actually show that they can change, that is a powerful, opportunity for us to grow. But we also have to recognize that there are going to be, bad people doing bad things, and sometimes people aren't going to be, change. And it's up to us to decide not about canceling them, but deciding if they are worthy of our attention, of our money, of being aligned with. And it's easy to say things like, this generation is too sensitive. But I think when we look at the generation that we want to create, the world that we want to create, it's important for us to take an open mind, but also recognize that hate and the things of the ways of the past are no longer okay. And no matter what that excuse is, for so many of us, we realize that is what is holding us back as a culture, as a community. And if we look at Web3 and the idea of transparency, let's face it, we know that the world as a whole, I firmly believe that there are more great people doing great things. And I think the challenge that we have is it's easy for us to focus on the negative. And I don't think we should ignore the bad things or the negativity, but we should actually spend more time amplifying the good, talking about the change, having discussions on topics that in the past we haven't previously had those discussions on. And that might be religion. That might be the beliefs of certain people that want to, put something like religion or race as the reason for their beliefs. And we can really make an impact by not only standing up for what we believe, but not allowing those discussions to happen in silos or being allowed to happen around us. I, for one, know that my silence is no longer an excuse or a reason for me saying that I'm a supportive of the world that I want to raise my daughters in, and that I am going to take a stand with my money, with my decisions, with my influence on who I believe in, the type of world that I believe that we need to create. And I'm going to spend a lot more time amplifying the good and embracing the change and being willing to give people second chances. And I believe the Web3 world is no different than that. And it's not about being extra sensitive, but it's about being optimistic about a future that requires a mindset shift, even if you're a baby boomer and even if you're a Gen Z. My name is Brian Fanzo, iSocial Fans, and I hope you'll take an open perspective, and hopefully we can all together make the world a better place, because let's face it, we are greater than me.
Wow. I mean, I felt a bit, I was like, ooh, that was definitely a literal and a figurative perspective. Any thoughts on that, Gene?
I like the fact that he talked about having an optimistic mindset. That's the main thing that hit me, because a lot of people need to be more optimistic, especially like kids in my generation. I feel like they tend to look at the glass half empty these days. I don't know why, and maybe it's just my environment, but a lot of people that I associate with tend to look at the glass half empty instead of half full.
How do you deal with that? How do you take the half full perspective? I know, for example, my own adversity over the last couple years with, health, vocation with respect to the pandemic, etc. And yet I've chosen, I guess it's a choice, right? You can choose life, you can choose positivity, you can choose half full, but how do you deal with being able to banish the darkness or the negativity?
I deal with it by simply just writing down all the accomplishments and all the good things that are going on instead of focusing on the bad. When you focus on the bad can consume you. If you just simply focus on the positives and write down the things, the small little things that you have accomplished, or the small little things that are positive in a situation that may seem negative, it will definitely outweigh the negative.
It's funny because, I obviously looked at a couple of fun facts about you, but the one that I didn't actually, recognize was, you said script is my primary penmanship. And and now I see that, there's also the power, as you said, of writing it down and finding the good. Maybe sometimes you have to really search for it really, really hard, but it's there if you just have the patience, I guess, and the time. And that was, one of the things. I mean, you said these really amazing things, and I was like, I wonder what he means when he says life adversity changes, patience growth. But the word patience was in there, and maybe that's the allusion to, or alluding to, it's there as long as you can stay the course, the endurance, right?
You have to weather the storm. People are so afraid of failure, and when failure and adversity hits, they don't know how to deal with it, and they want it to be over right away, and they don't know how to overcome it. No. It's supposed to happen. It's gonna make you a stronger person. It's gonna make your success story better. You gotta go through it. You gotta go through that change. You gotta go through that process, and you gotta be patient when you're going through it.
Yeah,
It's like an injury. Like if you get an injury, it sucks. It's painful. It's adversity, but eventually your body's gonna heal. Eventually your body's gonna go back to its normal state, and even stronger if you take care of it the right way and you stay patient.
I almost, my takeaway from that is this idea of the injury. It might be a couple weeks, it might be a couple months. It's almost like enjoy the time, like feed the pain, benefit from the pain, because it's going to be short-lived. And when it is, what do we do as humans? We forget and we go back to the way things were. And we almost need to revisit that pain just to remember how it felt, how bad, how much it sucked, and then push off against that. Well,
And
Gene, you are a busy man, no doubt. I would love for you to tell us a little bit about two initiatives that you're working on. I mean, most people are only focused on one, but you are focused on two. This is your non-profit organization and community service. It's called Walk a Mile in Our Shoes, and people can follow on Instagram. Tell us a little bit about this.
so Walk a Mile in Our Shoes is a community service initiative. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to deliver shoes, clothes, essentials to those in need all around the communities. We've done community services all throughout New Jersey. We've done community services in New York, Pennsylvania. We actually have to go to Connecticut. We got to go make a visit to go see you and do some
Come
community
on,
service. We've done
I'll
community
be there.
service in Utah, yeah, and we're just growing, and we take pride in giving back to our people, putting smiles on their faces. One thing about Walk a Mile in Our Shoes that's very unique, that when we started the community service, is that we actually hand delivered the shoes and clothes to those in need. We don't just put them in a box, and we don't know exactly where it goes. We don't just say here's some money, and no, we actually deliver to the person face to face, and we see the smiles on their face, we see the reactions. It's more meaningful to us to actually give that person that pair of shoes, give that person those clothes that they need.
It's really
So
amazing. And then, in addition to that, but wait, there's more. You also have a clothing brand. And so, for people that were wondering why dif-fer-ent was spelled differently, you can find out all about it on Instagram at dif_fer_ent. Did I write that correctly?
yes,
Okay, because I was suddenly looking at the different, and then I was like, wait a
yes.
second, where is the E?
The
But
E was taken, unfortunately, so I had to use the NT.
I mean, it's so
But
crazy that the E would
the
be
brand is
taken.
trademarked as it's spelled.
So tell us about the and is it just me? I mean, I'm sure that it's kind of intentional, but even the logo there, it looks like someone has their hands on their head, right?
It's the basketball.
Yeah, no, I can see it, but it almost
Yeah,
looks like someone's like doing this as well.
yeah. It's like an illusion. It's an illusion. It's different.
It's different. So tell us about the brand. How can people buy merch? What are you planning?
Okay, so I started the brand in 2019, and it's basically to inspire you to be yourself. Your path is your path. Be different. Don't let anybody take that away from you. Don't let anybody influence you to be someone else. Be yourself. And if yourself is different, be different. Um, Throughout the midst of me having my clothing brand, I've hosted multiple basketball tournaments. I've sponsored a professional basketball team with uniforms, and you can purchase some of my apparel on the website. The link is in the bio. We have our website, our online storefront, and go get your merch, man. Go check out the page. You can see some of the work we've done. We've had showcases. We've had tournaments that help people get looks to go into college and to get seen by professional coaches. So we help talent get discovered that was, overlooked. And we provide tournaments for kids, and actually have my brand's jersey in a couple basketball leagues in New Jersey. So, we just give athletes the opportunity to play basketball and have fun.
That's amazing. So please support Gene's clothing brand Different on Instagram. Different. There you go. And at the same time, if you are in Connecticut in particular, watch the space, because I am going to be there as you expand and cover the US, and make sure that that people are. Maybe we need to figure out an introduction to Tom Shoes, or get a big brand involved as well.
Yeah,
Love.
I just want to make an announcement. We actually have a partnership with a brand called Smart Wool, and they have socks, and they're going to be sending some socks to the address of our headquarters. So that's some big news that we actually had going on in January. So
That's great. Well, listen, and if you are in Portugal, Gene, I'm sure you're a great cook as well. You'll just hit him up. I'm just kidding. Go and support him, and go and support him at one of his games and yell out things in a language he can understand. How about that? As long as it's positive. I'm trying to synthesize the whole conversation. This has been Eugene Campbell III. He is a professional basketball player, an influencer, an entrepreneur, a scholar, philosopher, a cook, an all-around nice guy. He's growing all the time. He's going to end up being about 8 foot or 9 feet, no doubt. Support his clothing brand, his non-profit. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him on Instagram. Subscribe to his channel on YouTube, and finally duet a sea shanty with him on TikTok, because he's there as well. Now you know what he's up to. He is a content creator, second to none. The final couple of Johnny, who had basically said, he said, "I'm out. Catch you later, bro. Keep grinding." Great interview. And Javon said, "Gene, the family is so proud of all you're doing. Love you lots." We are going to head over to the after show. That link in Discord, or just go to my Discord and find out where the after show is. I'm still trying to figure out Discord myself. But come and hang out with us. If you can figure it out as well, you might be better than me. But you will not be better than Chuck Norris, because no one is better than Chuck Norris. And yet, here's what Chuck Norris had to say about you, Gene.
You are Chuck Norris approved.
There you go. I will be back tomorrow with Mitch. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the show about hope, positivity, optimism, and if there's time left over, a little bit of marketing with your host, multiple author, and global keynote speaker, Joseph Jaffe. If you like the show, tell a friend or two. Please subscribe to the show, and if you want to get inside news, previews of upcoming guests, and much more, visit josephjaffe.com/subscribe to sign up for the show's newsletter.
And despite the best ministrations of your wife, you still look ugly.